Using the internet, including social media, websites and blogs, can make learning at home and at school more interesting. But how does the internet helps in learning? According to CBOS server, about 93% of young people under the age of 24 years use internet frequently. Frequent use of the network effects to see many good idea. And that is why the schools are interested in using computer games, websites and even Facebook to teach our youth people. Frequent use of internets have some changes in the way of the learning and using education materials. Today students read more briefly and have difficult with attention and traditional lesson to interesting them. How we the pedagogues can adapt the teaching methods to these changes. At the same time, people who often use internet, they have more efficiently at the same time to see more details, changes that occur the brains, and they have and they using more tools. Some schools, including my school, the complex of technical schools in Grudziądz, seeing changes how the young people assimilate knowledge, and we try to apply new technology to learn young people. Complement to knowledge from books and from some website, but however it's very important to remember that sources from which the children gains knowledge are tested, must be tested, and one more tested. An interesting solution is the using sites like Europeana, where short education films, images, diagrams can be help to teach young people.
Lately, I've been using Europeana.eu website regularly. I want to study architecture, so I'm preparing for this by, for example, doing drawings of buildings or still life. With this website, I can easily look for inspiration for my drawings. It also helps me with finding out what actually happened in the old days. I can learn new things about how people used to live, how streets used to look, how art used to have an influence in people's life. Because of many exhibitions on different subjects, we, future students, can explore global culture throughout the years. With nicely arranged desktop, this site is very easy to use, even if you're not familiar with using foreign language websites. Europeana.eu also contains articles about interesting people about which you could never know. Stories about them make me proud of being European and give me ambition to study and grow in power of knowledge.
Europeana Collections is the internet library made for sharing cultural and science heritage of Europe in internet for everyone. My tutor recommended this library for studying history for my high school exams and for myself. So I checked up. check this out. And this is a very good idea. Europeana collections helps me to know many important and historic informations about history and others like art, like archaeology, fashion and sport in history of Europe. For example, my favorite subject in this library is the postcards of World War One, because there are many of them, and they are very high detailed, just like in the museum. So I can just admire these photos and stay at home. This is very nice. Also, I found beautiful landscapes of Europe. My favorite of them is the Lake of Zurich, places in Museum of Rijks Museum. And with this site, with this library, I can just admire these landscapes and see many interesting and beautiful things.